Hi everyone, I'm Ronnie and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet a ribbed beanie. In the former video I taught you how to make beanie working in rounds, that is in circles, but in this one we are going to be working from top to bottom, that is from the crown of the head to the base of the beanie. So let's get started. So for this video I'll be using these two balls of Yeye yarn, and because it's a very thin yarn I will make use of double strands like I've always done, and I'll be making use of a tape measure and a 4mm crochet hook. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we'll make a chain that is the length of our beanie, that is from the top of our beanie to the bottom. So I'm going to work it 11 inches, so I'm going to make a chain that is as long as 11 inches. So we already know how to make chain stitches. I'm just going to make chains that is as long as 11 inches. I'm going to be working with measurements because my stitches may differ from how you make your stitches. That is why we are working with measurements, not just stitch counts. Alright, now I have chains as long as 11 inches. I am not going to stretch it because if I stretch it, it's going to reach 12, and we are not working with the stretch, just the length. This is just the length of the hat, so it is 11 inches right now. And the next thing we're going to do is make a turning chain. Now after we've made our chain one, that is the turning chain, we will turn our work. This is the right side of our work, right, because you can see the V. Then we turn it to the back. Can you see that? When you turn it to the back, you see these bumps here, right here. So those are the bumps we'll be working into. Can you see these bumps here? So this is the back bump here, and you insert your hook into it. You can use your finger to put it through, yarn over, pull through, and make a half double crochet. So that's what we're going to be doing all the way down the line. So in the next one, into this back bump as well, it can be very hard to get into, so just make sure you take it up and make your half double crochet. So just continue doing this all the way across. Can be very hard to get into. So just like this. Make sure you are putting it in the back bump and not just one of the top V's here. So into the back bump. Just like this. All the way here until you have 5 stitches left. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So until you get to this part here. So I have made my stitches up until I have 5 chain stitches left, and this is what it looks like right now. Can you see? Now the next thing we're going to do is, it's still working in the back bump, yes, we are going to make single crochet in the back bump, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Now I have made my last single crochet, and as you can see there's a difference. One part of it is up, and the part that has half double crochet is a bit higher. So if you want, you could mark where your single crochet starts, but I think I know where mine starts, but let me just mark it. So I'm going to mark it right here because that's when mine starts, just like that. So the next thing we're going to do is chain 1, turn our work, and if you look at the top of your work, you can see the V, right? There's one facing away from you, there's one facing you. This is the front loop, this is the back loop. So we're going to be working in the back loop. So on top of every single crochet, we're going to put single crochet. Now into the back loop, put single crochet. So we're going to put 5 single crochets because we have 5 single crochets in our work, just like this. And into the last single crochet, just like this, right? And I'm just going to mark that last one just to be sure. And then in the next stitch, which is a half double crochet, I'm going to put half double crochet in the back loop, right? Just like that. I'm going to continue putting half double crochets all the way to the very end of my work. So I'll meet you when I get to this end here. Now I'm at the last stitch. Can you see that this V makes me know I'm at the last stitch? So instead of going into the back loop, I'm going to put my hook into both loops under the V. Like this, and yarn over, make a half double crochet. This is to make sure our edge is very straight at the end. So this is what our work looks like. This is what it looks like. Can you see? And it's still 11 inches. So the parts where we did single crochet decreased a bit. It's a bit lower than where we have half double crochet. You can start to see the ribbon effect. Now for row 2, we're just going to chain 1, which I have done, turn our work, and do the same thing on row 2. In this very first stitch, we'll go under the V, yarn over, go under the V, and make half double crochet. Now in the next stitch, we'll go in the back loop, just like we did the previous stitch in the previous row. Now we'll continue working in the back loops, making half double crochets in the back loop until we get to where we marked here, where we started our single crochet. So I'll meet you right back when we get to the stitch marker. Alright, so I have gotten to where my stitch marker is, and what I'm going to do is put single crochet in that very back loop of the stitch I marked, just like this, and I'm going to mark that stitch. And I'm going to continue making single crochets down the row. That is the remaining 5 single crochets in the back loop still. And when we get to the very last one, I'm going to put my hook under both loops and make single crochet, just like we did at the beginning here, at the beginning of our row here, under both loops here. So basically this pattern is just a repeat of row 2. So we just chain 1 under the very first, on top of the very first single crochet, we'll make a single crochet, and in the following stitches we'll make it in the back loop. Can you see that? We'll make it in the back loop. And in the stitch we marked as well, it will still be in the back loop. I will mark that stitch. Then the rest of it will be back loop, half double crochet, just like that, until we get to the very end of our row. Let's continue doing that until we get to this end here, where we'll do it in the 2 loops here, in both loops, and I'll meet you when I get this end right here. Now I've gotten to the end of my work, and I'm just going to put my hook under both loops of the last stitch here, yarn over and make a half double crochet. So that completes row, I think row 4. 1 2 3 4, yes, row 4. And this is what it looks like right now. Can you see? It's basically a repeat of row 2, so just continue working row 2 back and forth, back and forth. When you get here, you switch to single crochet. When you're coming back up, you do half double crochet in the back loop. And right here, from the side to side, it measures just almost an inch and a half, yes. So when we stretch it, it can get to 2 inches, just like this. It can get to 2 inches. So we're going to continue working our rows back and forth until you can stretch to 21 inches right here. That is the circumference of the head. So that is the circumference of the head until our work can stretch to 21 inches. So continue making it back and forth, up and down, and I'll meet you when it gets to 21 inches. So now I have made it to my head circumference, to the measurement of my head circumference, and when I wrap this around my head, it fits. When I stretch it, it goes up to 21 inches, but then because I have a very small head, this measures about 19, okay, this is 14 inches, but when I stretch it like this, I get about 19 inches. Because I have a small head, this fits me perfectly. But if you have a bigger head size, just increase your rows until you get to your measurements, and make sure you wrap it around your head. But if it's for someone else, use the measurement 21 inches. So now the next thing we're going to do is join our beanie. So we're going to figure out where we want to be the right side and the wrong side. So for me, because of this here, I want this part to be inside, so this will be on my wrong side. So we'll have our wrong side out like this. The right side will be in, so we fold it with our wrong side facing out, and we're going to join our work. I have not cut off my yarn yet. I just finished the last row. I can't really remember how many rows I did, but I'll count it and put it somewhere on the screen. But this is what it looks like when folded. Now I've chained 1. Can you see that? I am going to turn my work like this, and in the very first stitch here, can you see the V? Now under that V, that is why we did this in the back loop, so we can easily locate the stitches. So I'm going to put it in the V there and bring this loop over to this side, so that joins both sides. I'm going to chain 1 once again, and in the next stitch I'm going to pick up the front loop. Can you see this front loop here? We were working with the back loop earlier, but now the front loop of this stitch and the back loop of this next stitch here. Can you see that? Now I'm going to make a slip stitch just like this. Now I'm going to make sure to continue that all the way around, all the way down. So the front loop on one side, the back loop on the other side, and make a slip stitch just like that. So just continue working that all the way down. So I'm going to remove this stitch marker to make my work easier. So the front loop with the back loop. Alright, so I've made slip stitches up from the top to the very bottom, and this is my very last stitch. I'm just going to put it in both loops of that V and in both loops of the other V as well, and make my slip stitch. Chain 1, and I'm just going to cut my yarn right here. So quick thing, I started joining mine from the very top because my last row led me to the top of my work. You can see that this is where the single crochets are, and if yours led you to the top back and not the bottom like mine did, then it's fine. And now, so I have joined my work, and you can't really see where the seam is, but this is it, this right here, but it blends perfectly with the ridges, but it's still on the wrong side. Now for the top of our hat, what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our hook. And right here where you joined your work, you will insert the hook and bring out this yarn. It doesn't have to be any precise place, just make sure this string is very long. Now the next thing you're going to do is keep weaving in this long end of the yarn in and out of the very top, just like this. In this next ridge now, you're going to insert your yarn like this, as if you're sewing it in and out. And then in the next ridge here, right here, I hope you can see it, so we're putting it in these places. So we're going to put it in that, bring it out of that part as well, and just keep doing that. Make sure it's very close to the top, like I'm doing. If I had a darning needle, this would have been easier. So if you have a needle, you can just use that as well. Just weaving it in and out. Make sure it doesn't overlap. Just do it. Take your time with it. Just like this. And the next one. The next one. Remember, we are still on the wrong side of our work. Now I have weaved it all around and I've gotten back to the beginning of my work. What I'm going to do is just bring in this one from the beginning. I already cut it from the ball of the yarn, so bring it through the ridge and make it come out towards you. So you can see that we have this very long string here. What we're going to do now is pull on the shorter one. It actually doesn't matter which part you pull on, but because this part is longer, we'll be pulling on the shorter one to cinch everything up, just like this. Now you pull both of them together now because they are almost the same length. Now just pull it tight so there is no hole in between anymore. So just pull it like this. Can you see? And what you're going to do now is make sure to tie it tight, just like this. Make it really tight. You can tie it twice just to secure it. Like that. So you can see there's still a little bit of hole. So if you want and you have a darning needle, but I'm just going to go ahead with my hook, I'll bring it in towards the side like this to close that hole. And I'm going to bring this other end to the opposite side, just any space you want it really, just to make the hole close up. So just like that, and we're going to tie it as well. So you can grab your scissors and cut it now, or when you cut it then you weave in your loose ends, because this is way too long for me to weave in. So you can cut it and weave in your ends. So the next thing after doing that is turn our work inside out. Like this, you can see it's starting to look like a proper beanie. So this is the top of our hat. Can you see? There's no hole in between the hat. And what we're gonna do now is just fold it this way. If you want it folded, we can also weave in this end. Let's weave in this end now. Now I have gone ahead to weave in all my ends, and I have the little hole at the top. I closed the top, and yeah, this is the final look, guys. See, it is the easiest pattern on how to make a beanie. Or what do you think? If you think this pattern is very easy and you were able to understand it, please let me know in the comment section. And if you replicate it or make something like this, let me know as well. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video, and make sure you like, give it a thumbs up, and comment down below what tutorial you want me to make next. Thank you guys so much, and see you in the next one. Bye.